Today we have my top 10 Beetle modifications or custom touches, plus 2. Extreme close-up!
Unnecessary zoom. What are you up to?
Goofing off.
Yeah.
I found I was doing the final detail on the car when it was home, and I found a piece that I really didn't like, so I'm doing a small spot repair, and we'll just blend it in. So that'll be probably, I'll probably have that. Yeah, and then I can go. I just couldn't let it go out like that, and no, the client's not getting charged for this. This is on me.
Yes. Sweet. All right. So you had a couple of announcements, but then also we have a question.
October 16th, October 16th, October 16th.
All right. That is our show date, folks.
Yes. And we need a mechanic.
Yes. That is our another announcement.
And maybe an interior person and
probably could use
another
a paint
painter
assistant.
and hey, do you like classic cars? 256-828-2123.
All
That
right.
simple.
You got to move to Alabama, though.
Yeah, we ain't moving
We're
the
not
shop.
moving the
and
shop.
Don't say, oh, if I was a little closer.
Right. Please don't say
do
that. It breaks our hearts.
So.
All right. Okay. So the question was, what are Spook's top 10 favorite VW Beetle modifications? And I know you made a list, and I told you 10, but I think you got 12.
Yeah, I got 12.
That's okay.
And some of them are multiples because they can go either way.
All right.
So it's top 10 plus 2.
There we go. Bonuses. Are these on vehicles? Do you want to show us?
Well, it's kind of hard to show some of them, but yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
can. Disc brakes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. In fact, you can look through here, and there's a disc thingy in there.
I see it.
That's actually, yeah, that's my favorite. Second one is rims, and you were just there.
Oh,
and yes, this is a Gia, but the only real difference between Gias and Beetles, besides the body and the pan's a little bit wider, but all the mechanicals are the same. So it all shares the same stuff. Lowering and raising.
Whoa.
So, and I said either or, and I don't have a Baja here.
We really prefer lowering,
I tend to, I think they're sexier lower.
Yeah.
AC.
Oh, interesting.
Which the weird thing on AC is most of the time we get asked for it is in convertible cars, which I find a little odd. But we do have an AC kit that is going in Miss Riley's. We're not there yet because that's one of the last things to go in. Second, next one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ragtop.
Oh yeah.
And Herbie's got one. And Range's got one.
Yeah,
and I think Herbie's is an original, and the Range is a cut-in.
Yes.
Stereo systems.
Oh yeah, Gazzo.
Well, Gazzo's got a DIN, which is an in-dash with display. It's kind of dark in here,
yeah,
but
that's right.
but it's like built into it. With,
Yeah, that one's fancy.
yeah. So and then he's got a really nice stereo system in the back. Electric doors and windows.
Okay.
So, and the reason I put these together is this car's got both of them. So this actually acts as a switch to go up and down. And then you have door poppers also that will literally kick the door out and latch at the same time.
Cool.
Interior, here's a good example of a custom interior. Crotch coolers.
There we go.
And I like these, but I don't think I would put them in my 69 because it wouldn't look right.
There's just too many jokes, so I'm just going to not say any of them right now.
So, helps cool your crotches.
There you go.
And then the other one on that is semaphores.
Oh, yeah.
And that's typically for an early car because you can't put them into
All right,
a thin
since the
post.
semaphore is not in there, you got to act out what it does.
And it goes like that. Semaphore in here. So when power is applied, it comes out and lights up.
Aww.
That's
Oh, and it lights.
Yeah, it lights
Not
up.
all of them do, though.
No. And we're going to see if we can make them flash. So
Oh, nice.
I don't know. Because I'm worried that it'll go boop, 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 boop. I don't want that.
No, flapping.
And then body kit. And I don't have any body kits here. But for like the German look, or if the Mahala look, which is a lot of fiberglass and Bajas, that kind of thing.
What number are we up to?
That was 12.
That was 12. All right, folks, there you have it.
So
All right.
now we're in the main shop and Darren's walking away.
So we're not going anywhere outside, are we? You can tell us what's outside. We've got that nice red convertible that a brother and sister duo are doing for their dad.
No, the red convertible's behind us, but it's
never mind.
It's a sedan. But
okay,
we did their B&B and they decided to go ahead and do the work, so we're doing a bunch of work to that, and so we'll start that. We're gonna order some parts and get that going.
And this is for their dad's birthday?
I don't know if it's his birthday or if they just did it for him, and they were gonna try to keep it from him, but they couldn't because they had to get the car away for so long.
That's a little tough.
But anyways, yeah, so we're starting that, and we've got the pink bus out there that she's making her decision on what she wants to do with that. We did her B&B. We got another bus, which we'll look at in a minute, that came in yesterday, and so on and so forth. This is the little blue convertible that was sitting out back that y'all saw last week. So it came back from blast and got put in sealer. So as you can see, there's certain things that come out that we didn't see. Now that particular area there, this is what happens. So we talked about blasting a little bit. So that we didn't even see. That had this piece of tin metal from the inside screwed through and then Bondo over that. So this was actually in the door inside here. And then
couldn't really tell until after blast.
So that is just some of it more in the inner fender well up here where you get a lot of that. Anywhere that you see the bare metal was the area where we've got to do metal work.
Sure.
So you see, and we knew that was a problem. We got the support and the heater channels we got to put in anyways, but as you get to the front and the inner fender well, it comes up into the inner fender well. So this is your support and your heater channel, but it gets up into there pretty good. So and you even get up into here where, you know, it's that area we didn't see. You come around over and this inner fender well also, and see how wrinkly and crinkly it is. So they had a bunch of Bondo on that. They got blasted off. So this whole...
Was that evident before?
No. So because Bondo was on there, it just blasts the Bondo off. So same thing with all that. And then the heater, like I said, we knew the heater channels. The windows up here are pitted really bad, so we're going to have to deal with that a little bit because... and we knew, so then the inner fender here on the rear is a little bit worse than we thought. And of course, we got the whole luggage tray, package tray anyways, but it's way worse than it was when it first started. So I mean, you can just put your finger through here. But up here where there's a wooden bow that goes here for the convertible top, and it supports here. Now here's two main supports for the car. This is where the attachment, the actual hinge point for the convertible top is. And you can see what happened here. This broke all the way through. So on both sides. And that's a hinge point. A lot of tension there on the body itself for that. So we're going to have to deal with that pretty good. And then the rear apron blew out a little bit more than we thought. So it's both ends here on the rear apron, which is kind of common for the rear aprons to get. But that wasn't shown until blast. So you can see that makes a big difference on that blast stuff.
No kidding.
But
all right.
So anyways, that's that. And we're going to be doing a bunch of work on this. Next to go to metal work. And then it'd be, there's like, it's a ring of cars moving. So Mr. Hersker, there's cars, paint's done. But we got to know where to put them yet because his chassis is out in the trailer waiting on his wheels to come back from powder coat. When they get here, we got to put tires on it, put those on the chassis so we can get the chassis out of the trailer so we can put the body back on the chassis. So,
we need to hire another person to help.
And we need a mechanic.
We need a mechanic.
We need a mechanic. So, because right now me and Josh are having to do all this stuff and spin around, and I'm still having to do all the stuff I have to regularly do, and so but we like it. But still, so he's in there, and he's like covered in his little cloak, but he has to go to another home because we need another car to come in here and get painted.
Yeah.
So Spook's working on Fergie's little touch-ups, but it ain't ideal because that car's already painted. So now we'll get that one moved out. And then
Yeah.
Mr. Hardin, which we're going to look at, is coming in here next.
All right.
And then hopefully this one will be done with metal work when Mr. Hardin's done, and we'll be able to cycle them through.
We need more room. We're getting more room.
We're getting more room. So
Tell them about that.
So we're got the first step out back, so we're going to add on, which like we said, we're not going out there right now because it's so hot, but we went back and forth on different things. We were looking at off-site places. Should we build here? Should we do that? So we decided, we collectively and decided to go ahead with the building out back. So the first thing was we have a bunch of trees, as y'all see out there in the boneyard, that are hanging way over, big looming trees.
Yeah.
So we're having to have some of those cut out so we can move the building, add the building on. So that's the first step, and I guess that's going to happen sometime in July.
As soon as he can. Thanks,
yeah,
John.
as soon as he can. Yeah, thank you.
Hurry.
So when he gets done with that, then we're going to start the building, and
Yeah.
you should be seeing that in the video. So, well, actually, we'll probably see the trees going to be noticeable. Those,
Yeah.
I think it's seven trees. 8 trees that they're right along the line of where the.
And they're good 30, 40 feet tall.
Yeah, they're big
Oh,
trees.
man.
But the diameters is like, it's barely to be firewood.
Yeah.
So
Mulch.
it's just way overgrown. And
Yeah, we don't want it to fall in the new building.
No,
so.
that would really stink.
So, but after the trees come down, it should be pretty fast because I guess he's going to do some other work for us on the start drill for our pylons. So we're going to put those in, and then we'll get the concrete come in, and then we'll start building the building, and then it should all go good. So we'd like to.
We're hoping
We'd
by the
like
show.
to be done by the show, but if nothing else, at least you'll see progress by the
Right.
show. So that'd be good.
It's
So then
getting
we
there.
get that done, we'll have a whole bunch of room because that's going to be 35 by 120, I think,
All right.
somewhere in that ballpark.
Good size.
Pretty big area. So, because our problem is interior room
Yes.
for obviously a car like this
You can't
got
put this
blasted
outside.
and it got sealed. It can't go
Right.
out in the elements. It just can't even be out.
And something that's already been painted cannot go
Can't go out like
so.
like we got. So we got
Right.
Mr. Hersker stuffed over in the corner there because
Yep.
he can't go outside. So that alleviate a lot of problems, and it's not just the space, but it's the flow. So that if I can keep this line here open,
All
and
efficient.
not have to have 3 cars here,
Yeah, not have to move everything.
then we could move everything and get to one. So, but it should have freed up and let us get for everybody that's waiting on their cars, which there's a bunch of y'all. We're trying.
Yeah.
So we're getting some things done, and we got some other things we worked out. We'll talk about later that we could do too. So we're working on trying to get as many cars in here as we can
There we
without
go.
making it too bad.
And we
So-
need a mechanic.
and we need a
for those
mechanic.
who missed it.
So, anyways,
All right, so what else is going on? Herbie. we're
Herbie
waiting on
is here.
something.
So we got Herbie all back together, like y'all saw. I know he's been up and down, wheels on, wheels off. We didn't build this car, but he wanted us to do a bunch of upgrades, so we did a custom brake deal. But there's the trick to it. It already had a custom brake set up on it, and so the gentleman that owns it he wanted all the safety stuff taken care of. So it had been sitting for several years. So odds are the brakes were good, but he didn't want to take a chance, so we had to have another one built. Well, when you already have one custom brake set up on there and you go to put another custom brake set on there, sometimes things don't jive. So we worked through all that finally, but I put it on the ground and went to drive it, and I didn't like it. And so I got Spook and Josh both outside, and they watched the car go by from different angles, and I felt something. Well, we saw the driver's side or the passenger side wheel wobbling a little bit, just a little bit. It was not very, nobody probably would have noticed. But anyways, long story short, pulled it off and checked, and we did this and that, and there's a billet aluminum spacer, and we think that it was the cause. So what I did was moved it to the other side, and it followed it. So that pretty much told us that's what it was.
That's
So
it, yeah.
that was a custom spacer made. So from our friends out at Cool Rides in California. So I called them and said, hey, I got a problem, I need help. And so we got another adapter coming, and we'll put that adapter on there, and it'll be all done. Then his LED headlights and taillights are coming.
Oh, great.
And I called to check on those, so they hopefully will come maybe at the same time. And that's all we got on him. We'll put his little lights on, and
Right.
Herbie can go back home. But Herbie's been Herbie for real. He either didn't
Living
want
up
to
to
leave
the
or didn't want to
name.
get worked on. Yeah, he lived up
Yeah.
to his name. So,
All right.
so Herbie there. Miss Riley getting closer, like I said, having
Had
the
some
jump around
progress on
deals.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
done some stuff. And of course, I'm just trying to do some stuff that we can because it's still waiting on parts.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do what I can on it, even though it really isn't going to progress it very far. But
Exactly.
Gazzo's still waiting on
Waiting on the axle.
axles, but good news is they're supposed to ship sometime in July, which
Hey.
starts tomorrow.
Yay.
So yay, we're going to be into July, and
That's good.
and we'll at least be in the month that they're supposed to ship. So
Right.
hopefully that'll be cool. And then, so hopefully near the 3rd week in July, maybe you'll see, instead of us just seeing Gazzo covered up, something will be happening.
Something will happen, yeah.
All right, so we were talking about range. I started working on the headliner and everything, and decided I wanted to hold up on the seats because we were trying to sit seats. So we got the brackets, the custom brackets for the seats, and started looking at me and Josh, and they didn't look like they were going to work. And we started holding things upside down and to the light and looking around and standing on our toes and everything, trying to figure it out. We're like, these aren't the right ones. And long story short, without making us look bad, there's a part missing. It's not there. So we, the actual adapter that adapts the new brackets to the old pan. So yeah, when you're missing a part, it makes it kind of hard. You're supposed to have 3 parts, you have 2, and you're trying to make those 2 work. But anyways, we figured out that the adapters were missing. So I called, and like everything else, we've been talking about all these cars. Guess what?
How many
It's gonna
weeks?
Be, who knows? It's going to be weeks and weeks. So
What'd they say? 6, 8, 10, 12, 14,
somewhere around
16
there.
something,
So
you know.
we're going to, and the good news is that it's a 52 Zwitter, so it makes it even. So they're like, we don't do very many of those. So
of course they don't, because there aren't that many of them.
But the good news, kind of good and bad news, is like, okay, well, hey, how about my ones? Because then when I found that out, I was like, ooh, do I need those for Mrs. Riley's Gia?
Right.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
Where are those for that? Oh, we didn't send them. Okay, well, I need those. That's a 68 Gia, more common. Oh,
Okay.
we also don't have those. So it's going to
Oh
be
my
6 to 8 to 10 to 12 weeks for those. So that's also, now we're back in the same boat with Mrs. Riley, because I can't put the carpet in.
No.
With this
There's
until
no
I
point.
fit that and do that. So there we are. So that's kind of why I said we're kind of slow rolling on that. So same thing on this range. So there we go. So, but it's all right. We're just coming along. We'll get it once it gets to the click, and boom, boom, boom.
That's it. Everything will get ready at once when we get all these parts.
I mean, I'm just not a big put a doorknob on if you don't have the rest.
No, why bother?
I'll put the doorknob on when the rest of the stuff gets here.
Right, it's
That's just me.
inefficient.
So we'll walk. I'll walk
right.
on this side of the car. You walk on this side. So we got Miss Farrell's convertible. We've been talking about it. This is the one that she came in. It got hit. The poor little car, and he fixed it. So we're having some brake problems with her. So it's a little
Obviously,
ghost car.
somebody else had some brake problems that caused her wreck.
So we're trying to work through it. And there's things like, so for instance, she wanted front speakers, which you can see we did install those. They're in here, speaker pods. So it's a convertible. So everybody, all your bug guys are like, hey, why didn't you just put the kick panels in there? Well, you can't put kick panels on a convertible because where that is, it's on a convertible, you have extra supports there because you don't have the top. So your pillar goes all the way down, so you can't cut.
We got
into that.
structural issues.
Now, you might say, hey, we just saw a convertible back there with big holes cut out of there. Guess what? Not supposed to be. So it weakens it. So they make, our good friend at Ed's Foreign Auto Parts said, hey, they make these specifically for convertibles. So there's no hole cut in there. You just screw those to the panels and
great.
the little speakers fit there. She couldn't hear. She has some 6x9 speakers in here, but when she got the top down, she can't hear. So we put those in. Well, in doing that, I said, hey, let's test the radio out and check it out. So we did. And of course, like I said, we didn't build this car. This is the one she bought.
Yeah.
So we go, it didn't have very good reception. So I was like, hey, well, let's see what's up with the antenna. So I go to the antenna, which is right here. So we go and it's loose, and I go look, and there's no wire. I go, well, where's the wire? So Josh goes and finds this wire, and he starts pulling it, and here comes this antenna that was shoved up under the dash, jammed up on top of the radio.
Why?
So because this didn't
Why do
work,
people do these things?
whoever put this in last just decided to put this in,
Forget
and
it.
instead of mounting this or doing anything, they just put it in here. So now we're going to call Mr. Farrell and say, hey, you want me to order the right antenna because it was broken. That's why they took the easy way out. And they order the right antenna and the right cable. And let's get that taken care of. So that's the kind of things we run into. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Oh, people are funny. That is too funny.
She has a horn that's giving us problems. Her horn didn't work. Usually on these bugs, if the horn's unplugged, like the bug out, the brother and sister team Gills, that riders, their horn's unplugged and the wires are tied up real nice. Usually on a bug or Gia, when the horn's unplugged, it means it's going off.
Yes.
And they just unplug it.
Right.
So if they really nicely tied up the wires.
But hers was going off randomly.
Yeah, 99 out of 100 times it's doing that. So, and it's the way that these things ground everything. So anyways, hers isn't working at all, so we've got to trace it. There's a wire that goes all the way through the steering shaft, and it's grounded in a couple places, so it's a lot of stuff. But we're working through our horn deal. It couldn't have been just simple, just put a horn on it.
I know, that would be nice. Simple would have been great.
Yeah, my personal 70 Coke Bug, it likes to honk when you're turning around. So it's a grounding, but I just ain't taking the time. But yeah, I'll just be cruising down the road and I'll make a turn and then by itself, and it won't do it again for months, but just randomly she'll
You know that's going to happen sometime when you're next to like this huge flock of motorcycles.
It's gonna be great. So it reminds me of Herbie. I should have just painted that Fergie style. So.
That's true.
But this one's almost, we can just work through this little brake problem, which we're doing. We're trying to get her done and get it out of here. And then we got a little bit to talk through outside. But
all right.
What do we need?
Josh, what do we need, man?
What do we need?
What do we need
A
here?
mechanic.
We need a mechanic.
Yes.
Please.
We need a mechanic.
For those in the back, we need a mechanic.
Yeah.
We will pay, and it's cool to work here and look at all these cars. You get to have fun. There's got to be a mechanic out there that wants to work on custom cars. Bring yourself here.
Yes.
Yes.
To Alabama.
Yes.
To
We
Alabama,
can't move to
Hazel
you.
Green.
You can't commute from California.
Right.
You could, but I want to see that community. If you're gonna fly out
You're
here
going to get
every
all
day.
kinds of miles.
That would be
All right,
cool.
let's go see what's on out there.
Let's go out here and see what's going on outside.
All right.
Okay. Well, you've already seen it upside down, Mr.
Yeah, what
Hardin.
happened?
57 oval. So we went through and saw the heater channels were not bad enough to replace completely because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But looking back, maybe we should have went that way. But because there's every little place you see a little weld here, he went and filled a hole.
Wow.
So, but then he cut these these were rusted real bad, and patched that in on both sides.
Wow.
Over here, up here where the bonnet goes, where you attach to the car, you see where these welded spots, these were completely rusted out. So he's done that. Now he's gonna go back and grind them out. But see, every little place just
Oh, man.
it's all little holes that we've got. So the last thing on this car, metal wise, is right here, the little heater. They're just Swiss cheese. So we're gonna put some new ones on there, and then grind a little bit. And this one's the next one going to the body shop. So
All right.
we'll flip him back over and put him on back on his little cart and send him in there to get body work and painted. Or I think we're just primering this one. I think it's just been primered at this point.
Yeah.
Until we call him and see. But yeah, there was a lot. He wanted a lot of metal work on this one.
That's a lot of metal work.
So yeah, so
All
that's
right.
him. We have another bus out here if we want to walk around this real careful with that. Yeah, maybe you want to go that way. It's a little sketchy over here.
Kind of full.
We'll go outside. We got another member now here with us, Mr. Henry.
I kind of like it.
Mr. Henry's little bus. Yeah, it's
I like the
cute little
color.
bus.
It's
got
very
nice little paint
cute.
job. So we're not doing a resto on it. He's done a lot of work and bought it, and we're
Good
gonna
for
do
him.
some stuff. We're gonna do a B&B on it, which I'm gonna do here in a little bit. But it just came yesterday,
Oh, that's
and so
great.
he's gonna want us to
Cute
put the
interior.
headliner in it, maybe another transmission in it because it won't get out of its own way like buses don't. So
yeah.
you put a freeway flyer on there with a 4th gear that's extended, and then you get up to speed pretty good. So he's got the interior done.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work there.
That looks really good.
But we're
Good for
gonna do like I said, B2B. He may want a wiring harness because he's having some wiring issues. You see the fuse block just hanging there.
Oh yeah, that's not supposed to be like that.
So we're gonna do a little bit of work to him, help him out a little bit here, and try to get this bus finished up for him and
Fantastic.
send it on the road. So like I said,
Alright.
it just came yesterday, so hopefully you'll see this a little bit here.
That sounds good, man.
So
We need a mechanic, don't we?
we need a mechanic,
Please, come
Please.
and work here, man.
please.
Good place to work.
Yeah, I know. We need a mechanic. Yeah, I mean a true mechanic. No,
Not we love people who change tires, but that's
Yeah.
not what this
we
is.
just don't. We need a mechanic.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody out there who wants to work.
I would
Has to
think.
be.
It's hard to get some people, man.
Nice outside, we're ready to do
Right.
it. So it's really kind of hot out, but we have air conditioning inside, so you'll be able to
true.
work inside.
Pretty
so.
comfortable. All the eggs you ever need, too.
There's those trees we talked about that we're going to cut down
Oh,
back
yeah.
there. According to the way they could
Look
do.
at there.
See how many trees we got around here? They're nice, but we got too many to touch the
Yeah.
building, so we got to take some of those down.
Crushing the building's not good.
Not good. So,
No.
anyways,
All right,
that's
well,
what we got going on
that's
this
it.
week. So, goodbye, nice people.